Hi everyone, it's Carol Kate here, and today I am finally going to talk about how I prepared for the NCLEX RN. And yes, I did take it, and the very first time I passed it right away in 75 questions. And that really took a lot of preparing. So I think that is the key about NCLEX RN, is that you have to be prepared and you have to have confidence, and that's how you become confident, is by preparing. So I did that by planning out a schedule and having a chart and having a planner on having a goal in each day. So first of all, congrats on graduating. You finished the nursing program, and that is the biggest hurdle. But let me tell you, it is the hardest test ever in my life. I was really scared taking the NCLEX RN. I was not able to sleep the night before. I mean, honestly, I became nocturnal because I studied during the afternoon and nighttime, so I did pretty much become nocturnal. And so I had my test the next day at 12 in the afternoon, lunchtime, and I did not have any sleep since 3 p.m. the day before, even though I tried to go to sleep at like 2 a.m. But that is, so everybody's different, so maybe my adrenaline just helped me. So that was really good that I passed in 75 questions, because I wanted to get out of there and go to sleep. You know, I had that like mini heart attack that they say when the screen just shut down at 75, but I did feel confident that I got it because I think that I prepared so much. So now I am going to teach you guys on how I prepared and how you can pass it as well. You know, you can pass it at 75 questions. I know friends that only studied for a week and passed it in 75 questions. I know somebody that studied for only like 5 days, and she just took the first date right away after graduation that was available, and she passed it in like 139 questions. And some did fail at 75 that I knew, and some did fail at 145 questions too, but it all depends on you, and I know that you can do it. Okay, so how I prepared. I think that location is very important, and actually where I studied is right here. This is the exact location where I studied all the time. It is my dining table in my own home. That's where I usually studied for nursing school, because it's just, the dining table is just really big, and I could lay out all of my materials there. So that's how, this is the exact location. But there are times that I would go to the library, just, you know, if my house is too full and I just need that quiet time. So I would go to the library as well. There were times that I would kind of fall asleep because I just have my own room in the library, but you have to stay up. And if you are sleepy, take a nap, because there's no point of you studying if nothing's going through your head. Okay, so take a nap, take a rest, you know, stand around. This is going to be something that you cannot rush. You're going to need to change your lifestyle. If you want to pass this the first time or any time, you know, you don't want to waste your money, because it can be like $200, $300 to kind of take the test, and you have to wait 45 days to take the test again. Yeah, I think 45, and you just don't want to waste your time. So get it started, guys. You can do it. If you don't want nursing school, and so on. There we go. Location's really important. Having bright lights is important. You know, wherever you usually study, I think that's where you should go. And also the timing. I think it's important to have some time for yourself and really plan out what time of the day. If you still work somewhere, maybe take less time at work, because I mean, if you really become a nurse, you're about to become a nurse, this is a great investment. So adjust your schedule, you know, make time, make a time window frame for yourself. I probably studied about at least 5 hours per day for a month. There were some days though where I would kind of not really study, and at least 5 hours each day, I think. And I would say I studied straight for about 2 or 3 weeks, even though I had a month frame window from when I set up my ATT date. I didn't really get into it right away, you know. So I would say about 3 weeks. It was like hardcore studying, hardcore preparation. So get good sleep, make time. I had a planner. This is my actual planner that I used back then. And see, like on a Monday, I put answer some NCLEX questions. Tuesday, I had nothing. 27, I said, because I took Kaplan, and it says trainer test 2. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you the things that I only focused in. So for NCLEX, it is not about memorizing, because none of the exact same things are gonna come out on the test. I had a friend, she used an online module trainer type of, I don't know the name, it wasn't Kaplan, because it was cheaper. And so she took that one, but she said she felt ready because she memorized everything she said, and she took it after me. And I told her, you know, you're not, I didn't tell her, but honestly, you're not supposed to memorize, yeah, you're supposed to memorize only lab values and like numbers and what special things about medications and diagnostic testings, but honestly, you can't memorize because not the exact same wording and questions are going to come out on the test. You're preparing and studying to critically think, because NCLEX wants to know if you're going to be a safe nurse. And safe nurses they don't really know everything, you know. We don't really know everything right away, but you do have that instinct, you do have that critical thinking to think on what you should do first, how you should prioritize your time. You know, nursing school, it teaches you the theory and the skills, but once you become a nurse, you have to critically think for yourself, and that's what NCLEX RN is trying to test you on, is if you're able to critically think, not just memorize. Okay? So what I had was I took Kaplan. It was cheaper for me to take it. I think it's usually $300 something if you take it yourself, but my whole class got a discount because it became part of our tuition fee, and we all took it after our preceptorship and right before, after graduation, I think. Oh my gosh, how can I forget? Even though it's just like within the past year. So our whole class went there for 4 days live review. It was supposed to be 5 days, but I think it just became 4 days and like 1 day by yourself. So 4 days review with a Kaplan teacher, which she was really nice. She was accessible. You can still email her until you pass your NCLEX. So 1 week review with them, and then I think I went to Vegas after the review class for a week, and then I went to study on my own. So what I did was answer the Kaplan questions. I answered all of them. We have a question bank with maybe at least like 1,000 or 2,000 questions, and I did that little by little, and then more and more questions each day. So I would do that in one sitting, so I could kind of, like I did like a practice study one, and really read the rationales. And if you don't know why that's the right answer, I would search about it. So then I would search about it in my old nursing school books, or just like the Saunders NCLEX RN book, because this is going to give you just the key components of what might come up in the NCLEX. So then if I would, let's say those traction stuff, oh my gosh, like how could I forget all these like skeletal traction stuff? So I went over that again, a little bit on Google and over here as well. And also this book comes with like an online resource question online on Elsevier website. So I did those questions as well. Just, you know, just sit down and just read and read. So I did Kaplan questions and the questions that came with this book online. Okay, that's that. Saunders Comprehensive. I love this book throughout my nursing school. And then so Kaplan, Saunders, and then also on the side I would just have like some of my school notes right here, because you know, just something I would remember, some things that my teacher have told me. But honestly, this is not the time to review. You know, if you really passed nursing school and you really studied your butt off and you didn't cheat, you should be able to kind of remember most things. And actually throughout nursing school you should have been reviewing, and I know you probably studied the NCLEX way too, because that's how teachers usually test you in nursing school. So this is not really the time to review. It's the time to review the things that you don't know, at least for me, or the things that I forgot about, or the things that I might think that might come out, you know. So my school notes, and I also had this book as well, because they had good components as well, like for diagnostic tests and like how to prepare, and just like some medication stuff too. So that was really good. I love this book as well. And I didn't really read a lot, honestly. I focused on Kaplan, but I didn't memorize the rationals. I just tried to understand. That's how it's all. You just have to understand why you're getting things right and why you're getting them wrong. What don't you know? You know, and are you sure you know what you know? I don't know, but yeah. And also another tip that I had was I really did buy a thick notebook. And this was all just for my Kaplan stuff. I mean, for my review. This, in over a month, I basically filled it out with like everything. You know, like this, it has binders right there. In this portion, I put like the special dietary stuff, because a lot of that comes out in NCLEX. Okay, like what, because they're gonna ask you, there's more select all the applies now, by the way. So in my test, my first question was a select all the apply. My first question was select all the apply, and also my last question was select all the apply. And I remember my last question being a delegation question on what I can delegate to other staff or not. And so basically you already know that from your Kaplan. If you take Kaplan, they'll teach you on what typical questions they could ask you. So right here I have my notebook, and the first one is that the first section is basically dietary stuff, because I know they can ask you a lot of select all the apply questions on what foods you can give the patient or not. So basically, like right here I have iron deficiency and anemia, and I list all the foods that they can eat or what they should eat. So like chicken breast, cereal, dark green leaves, egg yolks, kidney beans, and you know, it was hard trying to memorize all of that. Basically, if you critically think, you know, I just sit there and which does I go one by one. A, would this be good or not? B, would this be good or not? C, would this be good or not? D, would this be good or not? E, would this be good or not? And just cross out. If you feel like something's not good, then just don't choose it, don't pick it. Okay, so that's that. I have gout, stuff that they should avoid, like red organ meats, shellfish, and all stuff. And then I also had a section for medications. And basically with meds, here we go. I had like little like things, you know, some medications that are going to seem important, or that will be important. So spinal anesthesia, it causes hypotension, so make sure that the patient is hydrated. See, so things like that. And also with meds and diagnostic tests, I had flashcards for them. So like for example, and they're all going to be generic medications, generic names for the medications, because Canada is also taking NCLEX, so you both need to be taking, memorizing generic names. So here we go, cimetidine. So I put here treat duodenal, the top, I put what it's for. Duodenal ulcer, gastric ulcer, GERD, prevents heartburn, and it's also a histamine blocker. So in green, in my pen that's green, I put that things to remember as a nursing intervention. You know, you teach the patient to take it with take it with meals and before bed. There we go. and I would teach the patient that you may experience diarrhea for a while, and a normal side effect can be, oh yeah, you just would put like whatever normal side effects are, and also you would put when to call the PCP. So if they have a rash, teach them that they're going to call PCP. And I just have all of that type, like all of those types of like medications, you know, magnesium sulfate, that's a big one. I have like, you know, barium enema and a flashcard for that. Okay, so you know, it's for the lower GI. Patient needs to breathe slowly, deeply through the mouth, and they might have an urge to defecate and discomfort, and stool will be light colored for 2 to 3 days after, because who knows, NCLEX might ask you what the normal stool is or not. Yeah, and they're gonna ask you, okay, the patient after barium enema presents with this and that type of stool, and what should you do? So obviously you're gonna memorize what barium enema is, and second, you're gonna think, is what's going to be the normal stool for a patient after barium enema? And then third, that's how you're gonna critically think, should I worry about that? Should I act on that type of stool color or consistency or not? You know, should you call a doctor right away? Should you just give them a medication or not? So that is just one of the examples on how NCLEX can test you, and that's my whole point about not memorizing. Okay, so another thing is, so besides those flashcards, so I had a med surge section, you know, just for adults and stuff, and I also had like an OB section, and then also I had like a peds section. So see, I had all types of different, I just wrote everything because, you know, it does retain in your brain better once you read and also write at the same time your ideas on what you learned. And also, by the way, I also downloaded the free app on my phone, the NCLEX Mastery, and I got the free neuro section. You can buy it, I think you should, but for me, I just did minimal things like my regular nursing school books, notes. I already did NCLEX review, and I already answered NCLEX question banks and full test trainers. So I also had the NCLEX Mastery on my phone when I would be in the car or somewhere reading in line or just traveling, you know. So I would answer those neuro questions, and I think you should get the app as well and buy the whole thing because it's very portable, you know. So that would be a good thing to have because that app was pretty straight to the point and had a lot of good, so like all the applies. And so does Kaplan as well. Well, Kaplan was more of like just like one answer type of thing. They had really good ones of those. But so also speaking of Kaplan, here I have like, this is my whole week right here, okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So for Monday, I would do Kaplan test trainer 1, 2, 3. So they're all basically like a full test. So I would do full test of trainer 1, full test of trainer 2, and 3 in one day. And I also did 25 questions out of the question bank, random question for the question bank. And right before I took my actual NCLEX, I made sure that I finished all of the questions in the question bank and that I did all the question trainers. And I also watched some videos on YouTube, like from Empower and some videos from Kaplan as well, and just to kind of like, so that like another kind of lecture. So that's good. Those were the things that I memorized, was special lab values and special things that I should remember on medications and diagnostic tests, and you know, special things about like some diseases, you know, what to look out for, psych things, what will they present like, you know, and is that normal for their diagnosis or is that not normal? Should I report it or not? Those are the things that you know, you kind of memorize because those are important keys, but otherwise you are preparing for NCLEX to think critically, okay? So let me talk about NCLEX first of all. I'm sorry, I didn't talk. So you have a minimum of 75 questions to pass, and you can stop at any time. The computer will shut down anytime basically, and you have a maximum of 265 questions, and you have 6 hours to take the whole test. And you don't know, you do need to pace yourself, because you might, what if you do have to take 265 questions? What if the computer thinks that you're not good enough in the beginning, so it's going to give you a chance towards 265 questions to give you a chance to take all of the questions, and maybe it'll let you pass, or you were like up and down in your graph the whole time. So my point is, do pace yourself, but do take your time, because you might just pass in 135 questions, so you don't have to rush yourself, you know. Just think and analyze how you are as a test taker. If you're slow or you're fast, you know, you just keep up a good pace. That's all, and make sure that you are taking your time, and make sure that you're not wasting too much time, because you just don't know when you might stop, when the computer might shut down on you. Question 74, I really took like a good break, you know, kind of meditated a little bit, and because you might go past 75. What if it goes 75 more questions after 75? So after I took a little meditation break for like 3 or 5 minutes, I clicked next, and I answered it select all the applied question for 75, and then the computer shut down. So that was my good experience, but of course I had a heart attack. So you can be thrown an audio question, and they will supply you with headphones. They could give you med calculations, they can give you a picture, analyze the picture and what you should do with the picture, or they might do like a hotspot. And I know Kaplan will teach you all of this, and even like NCLEX books will teach you all of this, and you should look in, and actually if you go to the actual ncsbn.org website, they have like a practice thing that you can download, and it basically shows you what the screen's gonna look like. So I think that most of my questions were basically like select all the applied questions, and I might have had like a picture question as well. So I think that you are equipped and ready to go take the NCLEX once you pass nursing school, and I know that you can do it. If I can do it, and if other people can do it, I think you can do it as well. I think it all just takes preparation, and it took me lifestyle changes. You know, you have to dedicate some time, dedicate yourself, and really picture yourself, have that positive law of attraction that you can do it and that you are ready. So lifestyle changes, I didn't really go out, probably just little dates here and there with my boyfriend. You know, I didn't drink. Yes, I'm over 21. Didn't drink for like a month, not even like just socially or to celebrate. No, I didn't take caffeine, and especially on that day, you don't want to be too jittery. And I know like the night before, some people take like anti-anxiety meds, and I don't think you should do that if you haven't been doing that. You know, don't try new things out, because you might just have like bad side effects, and you don't want to miss your NCLEX. Dress comfy, because actually they don't I don't know if it's different centers, but they don't allow lip balms. You only have a locker. You can put your water there, you can put your food in your locker, because you can take a break and you have to raise your hand and do all this like tough tedious process. Make sure that it's you know, your IDs and stuff. Bring your IDs and do a test drive. Get good sleep. Also, the day before, I did really study intensively, so get good sleep. And I did eat really healthy, like brain healthy foods, you know, oatmeal, lots of eggs, lots of like vitamins and fruits. So as I told you, be prepared, have good materials, have a good reviewer book, have a good review online questions. Even though the test was actually scary, it actually ended up to be easy. The test ended up to, well, for me at least, you know, I don't want to say easy, but it was doable, because I think it's because I prepared. I actually felt really unprepared too, but I felt like, the last 2 weeks, I was like, it's either I know things or I don't. That's just how I approached it. And when I took the test, it actually ended up to be very doable and kind of easy because I felt like I prepared. And I think it's the way how you study and how you prepare for it. So do what makes you happy, do what makes you the most confident, and invest in this, because this will be the test of your lifetime as a nurse. And if other people can do it, again, as I say, you can do it, and it's doable as long as you put your heart into it, your whole mind, body, and soul. Don't freak out, just calm down. Even though I was kind of freaking out, but being prepared just suits you, Like, I graduated, I passed nursing school, I got into it and everything, and you graduated, and now